All right, bell work for today. Number 1, distinguish an animal cell from a plant cell. Number 2, this organelle is like a warehouse for storage of products. What is it? 3, what organelle acts like the factory interior? And then 4, the custodians of the cell are also known as. You'll have 5 minutes to do the bell work. All right, the next thing you need to do is take out your weekly and please update it with this information. So first item on the weekly, 9.6, organelles in eukaryotic cells. Second item, 9.6, analogy assignment, cell analogy assignment. Now currently that's at 32 points. I might actually change that to be more points. And then finally, organelle notes, and that's going to be on page 31. So I'll leave this up for a moment and take some time to get that copied down. All right, the next thing we're going to do is go over the organelles in eukaryotic cells. So if you would kindly have that out, and also take out your weekly so that can be stamped. So with the substitute's permission, one of you may take the pause stamp and go around and check to make sure that each person has attempted to answer the majority of these questions. If they have not done so, then they do not get a pause stamp. All right, so let's increase the view of this. And you can check your work. The answers are in red. And so I can increase this and let you guys read through it. I'll pause. Or actually, the teacher can pause as you check the answers. Here's the next set of questions. You may want to pause the video so you can read through these and make sure you have the correct answer. Here's the next set. Here's questions 10 through 14. Question 15. Labeling the plant cell, central vacuole, chloroplast, and cell wall. Then questions 16 through 18. Now this section where it said read this, you may not have done this because I don't think I assigned it, but if I didn't, you can go ahead and fill it in. And then questions 22, you can skip, but 23 through 25, make sure you get those written down. All right, the next thing you need to do is take out a clean sheet of paper and title it The Basic Unit of All Living Things. You're basically going to be taking notes on the organelles of the cell. I'll put the PowerPoint link on the calendar, so you will need to go there to view the video, or to view the PowerPoint, please. Students, again, you will need to write down information related to each organelle. Let's skip going to the next, to the PowerPoint. What you can do is just use this video. I've set it up. So students, please remember Robert Hooke was the first to name the cells because they looked like this. And as this goes through, I'm just going to let the video or the slide show for 10 seconds. So if the substitute or another student could man the machine so you can stop the video and get the information that you need. Thanks. Alright, one of the things I said I'd show you, I'd find a video online. So what these represent are cell sizes. There's 4 different ones, 1, 2, 3, and 4. These cubes are made out of potatoes, and then they were put in a solution of phenolphthalein, which has a pink color, and then they were immersed in this vinegar. And so if we watch the time go by, what's going to happen is that vinegar is slowly going to diffuse in, and you can start to see a color change happening on the outside of these cells. And then when they're cut into them, you can see that not all of them go all the way through. So on this one, the cell is small, so the surface to volume ratio is, the surface area to the volume is much larger. Here it's getting a little bit smaller each time. So what is the significance of this? Well, if you're a cell, you cannot get all the nutrients into the middle of the cell and the waste products out. You can't get oxygen in, and you can't get oxygen out. If we take a look at, if I can quickly find, oh, I stopped it. Nope. All right. Deja vu on the video. It is still going, so give me a moment to find the next part. All right, the video is going again. So if we look at the size of the cube, 0.1 centimeters, the surface to volume ratio is 60 to 1. If the cube is 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters by 10, the surface ratio is 0.6 to 1. So that is a significant difference. And that is why surface to volume ratio is important. Alright, so the last item, this is what you're going to finish out the class with. You are going to fill this sheet in as neatly as possible. It does not need to be complete sentences, but you're going to give a description of what a cell wall is. Then you're going to do an analogy and then a justification explaining your reasoning behind that. So, for example, if we're talking about a plant cell, having a cell wall, maybe a fence around a city is going to represent that. So the analogy would be a city boundary or something where things are let in and out, or it helps define the city's boundaries. And then you would explain that here. So you're going to do that for all of these. Then what you're going to do is follow the directions on the instructions here. Let's make this a little larger. I'm getting very close to the end of the amount of time on the video. So the instructions, you've got the cell, which is the basic unit of life, and we can compare it to a pizza parlor, a factory, or even an entire city. So in this project, you're required to make analogies to compare the function of a plant cell to parts of functions of an entire city in the United States. To accomplish this, you must complete tasks 1 and 2. All of this is going to be due on Monday, and then you have an optional extra credit, and this is going to be worth 10 points, but you have to build a 3D model. I will be in class tomorrow on Thursday, and I can give you more specifics, but the big thing that you should be working on is having this data table complete. So think about the analogy that you're going to use. Don't think about the shapes of the organelles, but how would you relate these structures to things or items in a city? All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.